Greetings, folks. I am most likely humiliating myself in making this review, but here we go. Do you like dices? What about numbers? Well, if you don't, this is an excellent game to help you learn what numbers are odd and what are even, because Spellrogue is a card game. You will choose between one of 4 heroes, each representing a separate element, with their own sets of spells, and battle monsters and creatures in a Slay The Spire generated world. This game just came out of early access and now it's feature complete. It features hundreds of spells to mix and match, and several randomized elements such as artifacts and rituals to ramp up your building making capabilities. I am generally not very intelligent, I'm not even memeing about this, and my capacity of making builds usually revolve around "ooh, big number go up." However, Spellrogue takes a different approach and will punish your stupidity, as our actions are not only limited by the selection of our own spell cards, but the turn randomized number, which are gonna be the cost for those spells to work. Some spells allow the reservation of action points for later cast. Other will allow you to try your luck to reroll the dices, usually with additional effect. Ideally, there is never a situation where you end up with "oh my god, I wasted my actions," which is good. If it happens, most likely it's because of you that choose this fate. But won't RNG screw me over with the dices? Well, not necessarily. Clearly, rolling a bunch of 6 is amazing, but when you spend a dice, the extra cost is lost. So pay a 6 to buy a 4, well, you lost 2 now. Welcome to Common Core. No. So, small numbers aren't useless either. Moreover, every hero plays differently and have different tools to gear up their arsenal, and each deck brings a different twist on the gameplay. Lapis, the water mage, is gonna be your first character, so you need to level her up to 3 to lock the next hero, which won't take too long, all things considered, which is good of course. Water spells are centered around shields, but also can be specced toward being extremely annoying with poison, bleed, and other debuffs, like weak, which lowers the enemy's damage. Overall, it's a strong deck that stimulates experimentation with cooldown reduction through the rain mechanic, which, when triggered, will reduce the cooldown of random spells. Moreover, water has a good amount of area effect and is generally very versatile. Hazel, the Earth Mage, is the second character unlocked, and Hazel is themed, well, around hit hard as much as you can and nuke your enemies before they can move. Or at least this is how I tended to build Hazel when things go right. If not, well, you still get experience after you wipe. Earth is still an interesting spell branch of magic that can be used in multiple ways and is especially aggressive, either by playing around the even and odd combination with certain spells that only work with such numbers, or as a normal deck. Furthermore, Earth provides with buffs like Thorn, which is pretty much straight up damage reflection, but also offer a lot of sources of block. But more importantly, very hard hitting AoE spells like Boulder Toss, which are available almost immediately. It also features transformation spells and other buffs like Blessing, which raise the value of your upcoming rolls. And, do not forget, Marked, which dramatically increase your damage versus marked enemies, and it's amazing against bosses. Azar, the Fire Mage. Fire plays not in a very traditional way. It's interesting because it has access to passive health regen after battles, something that is not super common, especially early on, and has even healing abilities built in. But the trade-off is that a lot of the spells of fire consume your HP to do damage, so you need to be careful. It can either be built around cooldown reduction or dice rerolling toward lower numbers, which both actually work pretty fine from what I've seen. It has also access to several shielding abilities and some debuffs. Moreover, offers some forms of delayed damage, such as burning, which take place at the start of the enemy turn, or even incendiary, which is pretty much a timed bomb that deals a lot of damage. It can also cause the dices to turn radiant and empower them. All naturally, this depends on your spell selection. Sefyra is the last hero. She is themed around air. You get the gist of it. Air is different than the other heroes because, well, air doesn't care. Air is all about mobility, featuring unique spells that move in your hands when you trigger it either to the left or the right, which will give them additional effects. A lot of its spells will trigger static, which is a special effect to air, which will deal damage back at the enemies when they attack you. Think of this as a weird thorn sorta of. Air has the best shield generation early on because it has certain cheap spells that are able to generate a lot of shield, and that shield can be converted in static. To attempt to make a perma-immortal build, which tragically won't work as you wish because that spell scales with number of enemies and it's kind of a meme against a single boss. But overall, Air is pretty good. Is Spellrogue good? I'm not an expert, this is the first card deck game I play in forever. The roguelite's elements aren't as oppressive. You get gold used to buy items in the shop. The main currency that you care about comes at the end of the run when you unlock spells that you found and you get XP. And, well, gold is lost after the run, so there is no point in saving it. And you can even dismantle spells to get gold. Then you have the blue shards, which are essence, which can be spent to upgrade spells toward a limited selection. Artifacts are also very powerful, but a lot of them come with big trade-offs. So you need to be careful in not picking something that shred your HP every time you cast a spell, or something that will kill your build, because that is also possible, like giving an insane damage buff to enemies during their turn. I'd say that some artifacts are also powerful and you want them every run. Overall, the balance is still good. Should you play this game? If you like card deck games, sure. If you want a pew roguelite, boom boom experience, probably not. It's still a good game though, from the little I can understand because I'm not very smart. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please leave a like and subscribe. Have a good one. See you.